Hey y'all, so I am about to meal prep. I'm enjoying a matcha right now. It's so good. I get it from this place across the street, like by my house. So yeah, enjoying that. And I am going to meal prep a bunch of stuff. I have a few things that are kind of about to go bad, so that's why we're meal prepping it as well. And if y'all heard the dryer in the background, I'm sorry. But yeah, so we're gonna get meal prepping. I'm excited for this meal prep because I'm gonna do it differently than what I normally do. So normally I pre-create the meals, but this time I'm just gonna make like all of the sides pretty much and all of the proteins and meats, and then I am going to every day just put it together like a little bowl or something like that. So yeah, let's get into this meal prep. I think it's gonna be really good. I hope it's gonna come out really good, but I'm excited. So I'm gonna tell y'all what we're about to meal prep. Alright y'all, so I am going to meal prep a kale salad. I just had one from Chick-fil-A and y'all, it was so good, so I was like, I have to remake that. I have some broccoli and some cauliflower that's kind of about to go bad, so we're gonna meal prep that. And then I love eating these turkey sausages for breakfast, so I'm gonna meal prep some of that with some red peppers and some onions, and then some turkey meat, some chicken. Those are the almonds that go with the kale salad. And then I'm also going to prep some quinoa, and I forgot something, but we're also going to prep some Japanese sweet potatoes. I've never had them, but everybody always talks about them and says they're so good, so we're gonna try them out. I'll start off by just turning the oven to 350 and just getting the pans ready with aluminum foil. Yes, I do use aluminum foil. I like it because it doesn't allow anything to stick to the pan. Everything comes off really easy, and it's a really easy cleanup. So I thought I was going to be able to make the cauliflower and the broccoli, but the cauliflower didn't look as good as I hoped. So I just made the broccoli. And you'll see throughout this entire video, I am using a olive oil spray. It says on the label that it's 0 calories, but I do know that it's really about 5 calories per spray, I believe, or something like that. But it really is a good alternative to using oil. I've been using it for about a year and a half now, and it works perfectly for me. So I put a little oil as well on the tray with the broccoli, and then I use salt, I use garlic powder and onion powder to season it, and then I also added some paprika, and this was really good. I definitely recommend it. I normally would throw things in the air fryer, but just roasting it in the oven, I think it just takes the flavor to a whole nother level. And I actually was snacking on it after I made it. The most important thing is that you want to make sure that every piece of broccoli is coated with the oil and the seasoning. So just mix it up with your hands. You don't have to really do it with a spatula or anything. This works perfectly. So I don't know who didn't tell me that Japanese sweet potatoes were, one, so hard to cut, but also so freaking good. This was my first time ever having them, and I mean, these are way better than regular sweet potatoes. I will never be going back to regular sweet potatoes. But you want to get your knife and you're going to cut it up in even pieces. I like to cut them and then cut them again, so like fourths, I guess, or halves. And this works really well because it allows it to bake evenly, and you want to make sure that you put it on the tray where it's not like all overlapping, and you can do that towards the end after you mix it. But all I did was add salt and pepper to these sweet potatoes. Next time I might add some cinnamon to half of them, but salt and pepper is just fine, and it literally tastes so amazing. So you want to just mix it up with your hands again, and you're all good. After that, you can pop the broccoli and the sweet potatoes in the oven. Just make sure you look out for the broccoli because it is going to cook before the sweet potatoes, and I roasted those on 350. The next thing I made was some quinoa. So a friend of mine, my sister Steph, told me to stop making my quinoa in water and make it with vegetable broth. And I mean, this turned out so good. It was a game changer. It's very, very flavorful when you do it like this. So I just boiled the vegetable broth, and after it came to a boil, I put the quinoa in, and then I allowed it to simmer until it became the consistency that I wanted to. Everybody likes a different consistency when it comes to quinoa, so just keep an eye out on it and make sure you fluff it after it's done. So by the time the quinoa was ready, it was time to take the broccoli out. I did let the sweet potatoes sit in there for a little bit longer, and then I took those out. And y'all, make sure you just flip it, taste it after you're done. Also, use a regular oven mitt. Please, y'all, do not use a towel like I did, because I almost burnt myself. But yeah, it came out so good. And the thing about meal prep I gotta be careful about is snacking while I meal prep on the food. So yes, keep that in mind. The other day, I finally tried the kale crunch salad from Chick-fil-A, so y'all know I had to make a copycat of it. So I am just making the dressing that they put on the kale salad right now. I'm kind of eyeballing it, and you'll see me taste it at the end just to see what else I want to put in there. But it's literally just Dijon mustard, apple cider vinegar, oil, and some honey. That is all I put in there, and then I mixed it all together. And just a reminder, when you're mixing this, you want to make sure that you're mixing it really, really well. You want to make sure that it gets pretty, I would say kind of like a watery texture, because you're going to put that inside of the kale and massage the kale with it. As y'all can see, I am just putting that dressing inside of the kale, and I am going to massage it. I'm going to massage it until I get tired. You want to massage the kale as much as possible so it takes away that bold, earthy flavor that kale has. And so when you massage it this much, it really, really allows it to just get rid of that taste that a lot of people don't like. And so I spent a lot of time massaging this kale, but it was worth it at the end. So after massaging the kale for a good amount of time, I put the coleslaw mix in there. Now Chick-fil-A's coleslaw, or the cabbage that they use inside of their salad, doesn't have the red cabbage or the carrots, so just keep that in mind when you're making it. Feel free to take that out, but I do feel like the carrots give a sweeter taste, especially with the dressing. Now after that, you're going to roast up some almonds on the stovetop. Feel free to not add these until the day that you're putting this on your plate, but I didn't mind having the almonds soak up inside of the dressing and with the salad. I thought it was really good, but feel free to omit that part if you like. And you're just gonna mix it all together now so it can all be flavorful. I'll try this. Get some nuts, some of those almonds. Yeah. Y'all, I was tearing this salad up because it was just that good. Like, a salad is not supposed to be that good, and this kale salad was fire.
And for the lady, perhaps a salad?
Perhaps not. I'll have the steak smothered in onions, a rack of ribs, pasta with extra garlic, French fries with lots of vinegar, and a side of onion rings with lots and lots of sauerkraut.
Now that I'm done eating, I can get back to business. So I just cut these turkey sausages up, and I pretty much cut them evenly because I am going to pan sear them really well. And I like mine to be sometimes a little burnt, sometimes not. Just depends. So definitely just going to pan sear those. And when I cook these, I like to cook them with a bell pepper mix, so yellow, green, and red bell peppers, and the onions. And I get these from Walmart. I used to cut them up myself, but I found it easier just to get it from Walmart in the frozen bag, and it's really good. The combination is amazing. I didn't show me making the sausages, but y'all kind of get the point. Next, I am working on some turkey meatballs, and I add Dijon mustard to this, some salt, and then some onion powder, some garlic powder, and a little bit of paprika. It tastes so good. I just normally put them in the oven on 350 until they are done. I don't really have a specific amount of time that I do this for, but I just keep an eye out on them while I'm working on something else, or while I put something else in the oven with it. So I actually put some chicken, which I will show y'all later on in the video, inside the oven with these turkey meatballs. But they came out really good. I like to top them with some hummus on some days, and sometimes even some Greek yogurt would be really good with this on the side with, you know, one of the potatoes or the kale salad or something like that. So we're popping these bad boys in the oven so we can get started on the next meat, which is going to be some oven baked chicken thighs. And y'all, these came out so good. I seasoned this with some salt, some garlic powder, some onion powder, and then some paprika. I also did some lemon on this, and I used the oil as well. Just a reminder, I used the spray oil, and it came out really good. I made sure to flip it halfway through. And you want to do this because it makes sure that each side gets like that crispy flavor that a lot of people like. I personally love it. So yeah, just make sure you flip them halfway through and make sure that you season them on both sides. I always see people not season their chicken on both sides, which is not how I was taught. To each their own, but I love my meat to be seasoned, so I just make sure that the seasoning is throughout the entire chicken thigh. So by the end of this, we have some Japanese sweet potatoes, some quinoa, and then our kale crunch salad, some roasted broccoli, the turkey sausages, some chicken, and the turkey meatballs. And And the great thing about this is that I won't have to eat the same meals over and over. I can pretty much use my imagination every time I go into the kitchen and make something new, if that makes sense. So yeah, thanks for watching.